If you've built successful companies in the past, that experience definitely helps you to grow your new venture, but it doesn't guarantee success. Hey guys, I'm Jayesh and you're watching Hustle TV. In this video, we will see 3 failed startups founded by successful entrepreneurs. At number 1, we have Essential Products. Essential Products, marketed as Essential, was an American mobile phone company founded in Palo Alto, California in November of 2015 by the father of Android, Andy Rubin. Essential sold their flagship Essential phone and accessories for it like the 360 camera. Thanks to Andy Rubin's reputation, even before releasing a single product, Essential managed to raise $330 million in funding from investors like Playground Global, Amazon, Tencent Group, valuing the company at nearly $1 billion. Essential launched their first smartphone in August of 2017, but it failed to gain traction, garnering mixed reviews, and most reviewers recommended to not buy it. The company solved major bugs and even slashed prices from $700 to $250, but sales never picked up. The startup's reputation began going downhill in 2018 after a New York Times report revealed that Rubin has been accused of sexual misconduct by a Google employee during his tenure at Google. After their first failed launch in December of 2018, Essential acquired CloudMagic, owner of mobile email app Newton. This was a bizarre step as Newton's founder stated that the reason for shutting it down was the inability to successfully figure out profitability and growth over long term. After purchasing Newton Mail, Essential didn't tweak the business model. Instead, they kept the same failed business model. Essential also failed to keep up with many product promises like launching a smart speaker similar to Amazon Echo, an operating system named Ambient OS, and a long list of phone accessories which were never delivered. In October of 2019, Andy Rubin teased their second smartphone named Project Gem. It was an elongated phone available in a variety of shiny colors, intended to free people from being over-reliant on smartphones and would allow them to use a smaller device for tasks like sending and responding to messages using artificial intelligence and voice control, which Essential tried to achieve by integrating Newton, the mobile email app they purchased. Unfortunately, the phone never reached market. None of major US carriers expressed interest in offering the phone, and in February of 2020, Essential abruptly announced in a blog post that it would shutter operations on 30th of April, citing the lack of any clear path to deliver its new products to customers. Nothing, the recently launched startup from OnePlus executive Carl P, acquired Essential brand in January of 2021. In hindsight, it looks like Essential didn't know what they wanted to do. They entered the smartphone industry with an aim to disrupt it, honestly by undermining how difficult it is to make a smartphone. Then when the smartphone failed, they started promising other revolutionary products, but not a single one of them materialized. At number 2, we have Atrium. Atrium was a digital law startup founded by Justin Kan in 2017. Thanks to Justin Kan's past reputation as the co-founder of live video streaming platform Twitch, which he sold to Amazon for almost $1 billion, then being a partner at YC, Atrium managed to raise $75 million in funding from investors like Y Combinator, Andreessen Horowitz, Sound Ventures, and many more. Atrium started as a corporate law firm and technology company for startups. They leveraged machine learning to automate the digitization of legal documents and offered applications that speed up fundraising, commercial contracts, equity distribution, employment issues, acquisition deals, and more. Atrium also offered in-house lawyers that provided counsel in business areas. Atrium quickly discovered the unfeasibility and high cost of retaining such lawyers and attempted to pivot to a pure software startup. The pivot was not received well by existing Atrium customers, but the startup also came to understand the difficulty of building softwares for third-party law firms, many of which have well-established processes of their own and older leadership which are not open to overturning their existing system to adopt new technology. Moreover, Atrium provided its services through subscription, leading to a low margins instead of charging hourly rates for legal counsel like traditional law firms. This revenue model also contributed to Atrium's ultimate failure, since it proved more and more difficult to keep the business running, let alone achieve profitability. Khan decided to cease operations and announced the startup closure in a tweet. It came down to, do I really think there's a path forward for this business, or am I just making everyone do a fire drill until we reach an inevitable outcome? In January of 2021, in a series of tweets, Justin Kan shared the lessons he learned from Atrium's failures. Some of them were, only work on things which you have intrinsic motivation. You lose motivation when times are hard or your own goal changes. Start remote. The cost of housing and rent gives you much worse operating leverage. Don't build a service company. It's more work to manage everyone, and the reward isn't there at the end of the day. Justin Khan has a great YouTube channel where he shares stories and lessons he learned from his entrepreneurial journey. Make sure you check it out. And at number 3, we have Quibi. Quibi was an American short-form streaming platform that generated premium quality content specific for viewing on mobile devices. The service targeted a younger demographic with content delivered in 10-minute episodes called Quick Bites. Quibi was founded in August of 2018 by Jeffrey Katzenberg, veteran Hollywood executive who was the chairman of Walt Disney Studios in 1980s and later co-founded DreamWorks Studios with Steven Spielberg. Quibi was designed to be a revolutionary way to watch videos on the go, with shows and films specifically formatted to work in both landscape and portrait mode. It was specifically designed to cater people traveling by buses, trains, who have some screen time while commuting. Quibi raised a total of $1.8 billion in funding from investors like the Walt Disney Company, 21st Century Fox, NBC Universal, Sony Pictures, Time Warner, Viacom, Goldman Sachs, JP Morgan Chase, Alibaba Group, and many more. Quibi spent over $1 billion on commissioning original content in its first year. Quibi bought stars like Chrissy Teigen, LeBron James, Dwayne Johnson, Kevin Hart, Jennifer Lopez, Idris Elba, Zac Efron to work on their programs. With some 40-odd shows, Quibi officially launched on 6th of April 2020. TechCrunch reported that Quibi saw 300,000 downloads and hit number 3 in the App Store on its launch day. However, this joy was short-lived. Quibi's app fell out of the list of the 50 most downloaded free iPhone apps in the United States a week after it was released. On 21st of October 2020, just 6 months after Quibi's launch, the Wall Street Journal reported that the streaming service was shutting down. Later the same day, Katzenberg told the media, "There was no question that keeping us going was not going to have different outcome. It was just going to spend a whole lot of more money without any value to show for it. So out of respect for these people that put up this extraordinary amount of capital to do it, that's irresponsible, and we felt both we shouldn't do it." In the interview, Katzenberg also cited the unfortunate timing of the launch during the pandemic as a contributing factor. Lots of factors resulted in Quibi's failure, like mediocre content, which didn't compel viewers to go back to the app again, high subscription fees, the inability to take screenshot of the shows, which kept the shows out of the meme culture, which is almost free marketing these days. Their only mobile device strategy also failed because of pandemic. No one was traveling and most of us were consuming content on bigger screens. But the biggest factor for Quibi's failure was their ignorance. Quibi always said that they were not competing with platforms like Netflix, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram. Quibi always positioned itself as a revolutionary way to watch videos on the go, but the reality was they were in direct competition with these platforms. The same commuter they were targeting were already hooked to YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, which at times had much better content than Quibi and was absolutely free. Despite all the star power and money, Quibi couldn't generate interest among the users. On 8th of January 2021, Roku acquired the content from Quibi for an amount less than $100 million. So that's a wrap for today, guys. If you like this video, then please give it a thumbs up. If you're new here, then please consider subscribing to my channel and do watch out my other videos. If you like this video, then you would definitely enjoy the video on failed American and Indian startups. The video will be on the screen right now. Go ahead and click it and watch it. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video. Bye.